I am going to ask everyone to please put their phones on mute. I mean, their computers on mute so that we don't have all the background noise. Thank you. Um, I have item number 8, and I should know by Monday. Counselor Bay.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items number 9 through 11. We did discuss these items, wondering if anyone could speak to it briefly for the benefit of the other counselors who might not. I've spoken on the committee. All these items passed the committee as far as I can remember. But Frank, you know if anybody's available, Mr. Cleaver.
Yeah, this is Brad O'Connor, Commissioner.
Brad.
I can talk to them.
Okay, Brad, go ahead.
First item is a transfer of cash capital to the general fund. This is cash capital appropriations, the accumulation of cash capital appropriations that were transferred in prior years from the general fund to the capital fund as part of our response to the financial effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are proposing that we transfer $2,057,000 back into the general fund.
Right, appreciate it, Brad. So for clarity, they're simply putting the money back so that it's not spent. Any questions from any of my colleagues on that item? If not, item 10, anybody? Commissioner?
Yep, so this is request for revenue anticipation note for $46 million based on our projected cash flows, and those cash flows have been adjusted for both the effect of the pandemic and the response, the $18 million of contingency cuts. The projected cash flow is attached to the agenda.
Thank you. Any questions from my colleagues?
No, Councilor Bay, I was wondering if I could just interrupt. Councilor Carney's trying to get into the meeting, and he says he keeps signing in and it keeps crashing. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Conroy can take care of that or something. I don't know.
It may be on his side, I would assume. If it was crashing, I guess in the mainframe, we all would be getting shut out of the program. Hopefully it gets on soon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No question on those Rant Notes?
I do have a question. This is Rita Paniagua. And if we don't, I mean, we usually collect $76 million from the state as per the budget that you sent. And what if it comes short this year? I mean, how do we make sure that that we will be able to match to pay these dollars back if it comes with a cut or something like that, the state aid?
Yeah, we will. That's not what we are expecting. We've projected that the withholding from this past June will not be paid to us. We are expecting that next June's aid will be paid. If it's not, there are some other options that we have, which would include extending the RAN, getting a private loan from a bank. So we would have to reassess that next spring and address it then.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Councilor Bay, I was just wondering, is there going to be any update? This is to Frank and Brad. Is any update on the furlough program? How that's going to be put together, or I know it's put together, but how it's going to be implemented?
Councilor Frank Oliva, Chief Administrative Officer. So the final votes from our labor union partners were yesterday. The mayor has communicated to staff internally that there will be 4 furlough days citywide, and Mr. Lowe and his team have been working on the communications to make that generally known and to let the public know. So we're beginning the implementation of that now based on that approval.
And will there be a convening of the financial contingency committee soon? I would hope. So the council can be apprised of, the
Yep.
ongoing issues.
Now that that final piece is in place, we will convene to review the entire contingency plan.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilor Bay.
All right. So item number 11, Commissioner Clifford.
Good afternoon, councilors. David Clifford, Commissioner of Assessment. This is a correction of the sewer use charge for one condominium unit in Plum Court. For the past 5 years, they've been overcharged actually for the entire building's water use. So we are correcting that per the Onondaga County Water Environmental Protection Directive. Are there any questions?
I guess not. Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Madam President, those are my items. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Green.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 12 and 13, which will be discussion in committee. Mary, you want to just give a real brief overview for everyone?
Yes, councilors, good afternoon. This is to amend the ordinance for project authorization and bonding for the City Hall Commons Space Assessment and Security Improvement Project. We're adding $100,000 to the bond and project authorization to address the single point of entry and specifically some snow melting equipment, and to remove the icicle problem that we have in the winter months on Market Street. So we're adding some snow melting equipment and bird deterrent equipment. We've hired CNS and discovered that the problem is with the bird feces and other bird parts getting caught in the drains. And also the heat tape that was installed in the 90s is no longer intact. So hopefully our heat tape system has advanced over the years, and this will address the icicle problem that we have around the building. And we're doing the work in-house. CNS, as I mentioned, is designing the work to be done. So our tradespeople will be doing this work for us. That saves a lot of labor expenses. And we hope to get this done. We hope to get this done by Thanksgiving, if all goes well.
Any questions from the councilors? Okay, thank you, Madam President.
Councilor Paniagua. Unmute yourself, Rita.
Okay, now I have item number 14. This is to enter into agreement to appropriate funds not to exceed 7,500 to go towards the Leadership Greater Syracuse program. It goes to general operations of the program, and it allows one employee to participate in it. We went through committee. If there are no other questions from the commissioner, councilors, it's ready.
Rita's or Councilor Paniagua, is this money out of the education budget? Is this out of the school district's budget, or is it out of ours?
Ours.
Okay. I just want to comment. I know this is a great program. We have a lot of great programs, but with my former department, the Parks Department's down to a skeleton crew. We just are borrowing. We're just transferring money from the capital money to the general fund.
I agree.
I know it's only $7,500, but it's like, we are in a crisis. So I probably will vote against this, and I just want to make that comment. So
Thank you.
that's all I got.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Carney.
Thank you, Madam President. I have 15 through 18. They all passed through the committee, but I don't know if Commissioner LaFave's on to just go through the 4 items briefly and answer any questions that any of my colleagues may have that were not able to attend the meeting.
Thank you, Councilor Carney. I apologize, I'm in a car if it's too loud. The first item is to accept a donation from Parkitex for a bench to be placed in Eastwood Heights Park in memory of a deceased longtime Syracuse City Parks employee, as well as lifetime resident and dedicated Eastwood neighbor, Tom White. Value $1,400. The location has been picked with the family who are in support of the location. The next 2 are to enter into an agreement with some of our fitness-based agencies. Programming to run until the end of December. The dollar amounts are listed up no more than $1,050 for Fight for Hearts and no more than $600 for Wachiva. Both of these are eligible for reimbursement through a previously approved grant that we have. And the final item is request to enter into an agreement with Cumulus for in-kind services. I do have a rep. I believe Jamie Lawler is on this call. Basically, we are doing a virtual tree lighting because we cannot have a traditional tree lighting, but we want to have something. We would like to request permission to work with Cumulus. They are willing to provide in-kind value of services up to $45,000, which includes booking entertainment, pre-taping some of the elements for us, editing, producing everything in advance for us so that it can be aired when the traditional tree lighting would be, broadcasting it on a variety of social media channels. No money to be exchanged, but we just would like the ability to move forward with them.
Does anyone have any questions on those items? No? Okay, I'm going to call those ready. And once again, thank you to Cumulus and to, you, Commissioner, and the Parks Department for putting this together. I know we're in really difficult times, and it's nice to see that we are going to be able to do something that people come to expect from the city this winter.
Thank you. It's going to be a really great production.
President.
Thank you. Counselor Majoke.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item 19 and 20. First item is with the police department is Chief Cecil in.
You're on mute, Chief.
Yep, that helps. Yep, here, Counselor.
Item 19. Did we made any progress with the ban the box with that item?
We did not. We didn't get the letter back. We are assured that we're probably going to get it, but once again, it's a national company and we're going through all kinds of hierarchy. I think we'll eventually get it, but we do not have it in our possession right now.
Okay. All right. We talked about it in the committee 2 weeks ago, and then we talked about it last week. I think unless if any of the councilors have questions, I will consider it. I'll move it, but pending that ban the box letter, Chief. Any questions?
Yeah, Counselor, I would just say I think we should wait until we get the letter.
Say that again, Councilor Green.
Yeah, Counselor, I'm just saying my opinion is we should wait until we get the letter from them.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Item 20.
Good afternoon, Councilor Jeff. Item 20 is I'm asking for permission to enter into an agreement with Firehouse Subs.
Chief, sorry not to interrupt you. I'm getting some feedback here, so can we kind of mute ourselves? Thank you. You're good, Chief.
Okay, I'll start over. I'm looking to enter into an agreement and get permission from the council to enter into an agreement with Firehouse Subs to get a grant not to exceed $10,336 If awarded this grant, we would use that money to purchase EMS training equipment that will allow our firefighters to train and practice in the proper use of defibrillators. Our current equipment is 10 to 12 years old. So we would be purchasing AED training devices and an EKG interpretation machine. And that's my only update for number 20.
Councilors, any questions? Madam President, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Allen.
Thank you. I have item 21. I know we discussed
Hold
that
on 1 second, Councillor Cho. Councillor Majo, can you mute yourself? Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I have 21. But I know during the committee meeting we discussed other items. So I'm assuming Michelle, you can give us an update as to why only the one item appears on here.
Councilor, I can give you an update. The other two items hadn't had a resolution passed yet, and the procedure is they have to be adopted by by the Land Bank Authority in order to go in front of the council. So the resolution hadn't been passed, so we're waiting for that to advance over the next meeting.
Okay. All right.
I
And
sent
so,
them over to Brian earlier, so they will be on for the next agenda.
okay. All right. Thank you, Michelle and John. So this item passed during the committee meeting, so this is ready. So we'll be able to move this on Monday.
Thank you. All righty. With that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
See you guys later. Have a good day.
Thank you.